podcast made by basketball fans for basketball fans. From the hottest takes, news, analysis, and passion for the sport that we all love, this is the Fast Break Pod with Finn James and Will Tremaine.
Welcome into the Fast Break Podcast, the podcast made by basketball fans.
For basketball fans.
Finn James.
Will Tremaine.
We're back after a little bit of a hiatus.
Week off.
We were in the Coromandel, weren't we, Will?
We were. We went down there to walk the pinnacles, but got rained out. Weren't able to do that, were we?
Yeah, no, we weren't. It would have been pretty dangerous, to be fair. And you know that whole part of the country has been absolutely smashed in the last week.
Bro, we got out like a day before. I think the landslips shut down the road.
Quite a few slips, and then like the Pawanui waterways are all filled with like mud and silt and things like that.
Yeah,
so
we ended up doing the Mount Pawanui summit, bit shorter than the
still a nice
pinnacles,
walk though.
Still good, yeah.
But yeah, obviously, all the slips and stuff. Mount Maunganui is a massive one, and you know, all the people that are from the Mount, hope you're all safe. Hope your family's okay, and
prayers out to those families that have lost their loved ones.
Yeah,
Mount Maunganui
it is a horrific event. My older brother lives down there actually, and he said, you know, shaken up the Mount severely, but everyone seems to still be in pretty good spirits. But it's a pretty major event at the end of the day, and you know, Will and I's thoughts go out to everyone that is somehow involved with it. But yeah,
sure, just
bit of a sour note, but massive episode. We're here for season 2, episode 17. We've obviously missed last week where they had the NBL Hoop Fest in Perth.
Yep.
We were still pretty tapped in, and Perth honestly put on an absolute spectacle for Hoop Fest. They do every single season. The Breakers got a win over Cairns, which I thought was a really good win. We played excellently.
For sure.
Rob Baker did go down with an injury, which we'll get into very soon as well. But yeah, Hoop Fest looked great. Honestly, I think I really want to go to Perth for Hoop Fest just one time.
Yeah,
it looks
might
awesome.
be able to with your work then. Who knows?
Who knows if they they might send us over. Who knows? Who knows?
Let's get into the NBL news though, Finn.
Oh yeah,
we've got a bit of an injury update list, like you just mentioned.
Goodness.
Yeah, there's been a fair few injuries since we were last on the podcast. First of all, we'll look at Tasmania.
They're in trouble.
Obviously in a similar situation to us, battling for that 6th spot, and Will Magnay gone for the season. Yeah. He's out. Bryce Hamilton torn ACL as well, so that's announced as a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
So, 2 of their best players.
And Majuk Deng out, concussion, TBC. He got shaken up pretty bad a few games ago, and
so that's going to be a fair few games as well, I'd imagine.
Tassia's still sitting on 12 wins. We'll obviously dive into the ladder a little bit later on, because I think it's going to change quite a bit before we head into these last few rounds, but Tassie are in trouble now that Will Magnay's out with that toe injury. That man cannot stay healthy. For the life of him, he cannot stay healthy. Obviously, Bryce Hamilton, death taxes, and Bryce Hamilton 20 points per game no longer. Very unfortunate. He's had an absolute stellar season. I thought he was potentially in for an All-NBL shout this year. So unfortunate to see him go down. And yeah, so they're in the 6th spot at the moment on 12 wins. Breakers are on 10. Illawarra on 9. And
as sad as it was to see like those injuries happening to those guys, it gave us Breakers fans a glimmer of hope, because these injuries happened before ours, and I was like, well, at least Will Magnay's, and I was like, oh, we actually have a realistic shot at this 6th spot.
Yeah.
And then
everything just started capitulating. So
kind of came around, and look at what's happened to us now.
Yeah, so the Cairns game, Rob Baker, he went down. At the time, I thought it was just like a hamstring injury, the way he kind of waddled off. Torn ACL for Rob Baker II. Very unfortunate, because I think he slowly started. I mean, there's not that many rounds left. I think we have 6 games remaining in the NBL season following the weekend just gone. Obviously, he still wasn't playing as good as I'd like him to, but it looked like he was becoming more comfortable, becoming a real threat from the outside.
He was still a piece we needed on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, he stretched the floor well for a lot of our team, but he goes down with a torn ACL. He's remaining with the team for the rest of the season, and it doesn't look like we'll be re-signing anyone despite the NBL potentially giving us an exemption to go after another player, but it seems like that's basically out the window. Yeah. The big one as well. Well, Max Starling also on Friday night against the Adelaide 36ers. We'll get into a bit. They were worried he'd done something to his knee, but no reports have come out, and
not as worrying.
I think he's going to be okay. Could be just like a week or something like that. Yeah. I'm actually unsure what it is. No reports are out yet, but the big one, and Sam the one Mennenga, that probably has ended our chances of making the playoffs and is going to be a real rough time in the Ignite Cup final, which we have qualified for, I think, against the Adelaide 36ers. Sam Mennenga out with a fractured wrist for 4 to 6 weeks. That'll be
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks, sorry. That'll be it for season the rest ending of the NBL season for Sam Mennenga. And honestly, strung together a ridiculously good form of games in the last like 4 rounds.
He's been our best player all season long. Even over Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Consistently, he's been just insanely good. And
he was the guy that we needed to like get to that 6th spot. So losing him, our season's over, in my opinion.
Our big man depth is not very good. Like we
lost Rob Baker.
Yeah.
And then we lose Sam Mennenga.
Our starting 4 and 5.
And now we have Rob Lowe, old man Rob Lowe. Shout out to Rob Lowe. He's obviously a legend. But
Tuatara re-signing as well, actually.
Yeah. He's got to step up start at center for us now.
Let me remind you, though. Who's the starting center on Melbourne last year in their finals run?
But Rob Lowe hasn't been getting the reps this season. No, that's what I'm worried about. He's like been playing limited minutes. He's got to now step up starting center position, and we have no backup bigs. The only guy is a DP, Jack Andrews. That's the only other guy I can think of. So they need a... Who knows? Maybe they're going to elevate him from DP.
Ruben will start. Carlin will fill in that 3-4 spot.
Ruben will start at 4, but like he's not really.
He's played 4 most of the year, to be fair.
But like we need a backup center.
Yeah,
we don't have a
Jack Andrews.
Because Rob Lowe's not going to be playing 40 minutes a game.
It'll be Jack Andrews.
Yeah,
you never know. We might see another DP get put in. Liam Judd maybe with a little call up for the last few games. He's been around as a DP this whole season. He's only suited up.
Big though. Jack Andrews is the only big.
I think we can sign injury replacements, even though it has been 75% more than the games we've played. But with 6 games remaining until the playoffs, and you know it's going to be big changes. My hopes have kind of gone out the window a little bit. And we have the Ignite Cup final that'll be in February in the Gold Coast, which, I mean, to be fair, Wednesday night basketball. As well. Sam will be done. It's not looking likely that we're really going to have any season success. However, like we're still going to be rooting for the boys along the way. But it's just what's unfolded in the last 7 to 10 days with the Rob Baker announcement that he was injured, Sam's wrist, like it's gone from bad to worse, really, especially with the 2 results that unfolded on the round that just happened as well.
And now with these 2 teams, the Breakers and Tassie, both being injury ridden, this opens the door wide open for Illawarra, who are down at 8th spot at the moment.
Yeah.
They have a realistic chance now to, but I warn you, Illawarra fans, don't start, getting your hopes up too much, because karma hit us hard when we started doing that. We don't want no more injuries to the Illawarra Hawks players.
Illawarra is fully healthy, other than like the Jonah Bolden Achilles injury, which was near the start of the season.
But he's not an integral piece. So
no. And obviously the return of Sam Frolling's been huge for them, and they have a fully healthy roster, and they are 2 games behind Tasmania. They've only played 25, where Tassie have played 27, and they are only 3 wins behind Tassie. And I don't know, it's a pretty rough road for Tassie leading out the end of the season. I know they have us in a few weeks, and I mean, without some of their key integral pieces, Tassie, like you said, door is wide open for Justin Tatum and the Illawarra Hawks to...
Who do you think makes that 6th spot? If you were asked right now, who do you think's making it?
I think it's going to be hard. Illawarra need to almost go perfect, basically, in this last 8 games they have to play, which is something they definitely can do, but the rest of the league is flourishing at the moment. I think Tasmania, realistically, can still probably just hold on, especially now that the Breakers have lost 2 very integral pieces of the team, but...
I think Breakers is also still in with
it's still a chance. Let's
not write them off completely, I guess.
No, I think Tasmania are looking like the more likely team to make the 6, considering that we're going to have a rough string of games. I know we have the Taipans to end off the season. It'd be very interesting. Imagine if we need that win against Cairns at Event Finder Stadium on February 19th, and we somehow get up. Sam makes a miraculous comeback. Who knows? It could be 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know. But I think Tassie is still looking like the more likely team to probably make a postseason push, but they'll end up probably facing either Perth or Melbourne in that play-in tournament game, and I don't see how they can possibly lose to Tassie, Breakers, or Illawarra in that first play-in tournament game.
And I mean, Sam does have a ton of heart. He broke his wrist, and he still went out there and closed out the rest of the game. Obviously, that final possession on Bryce Cotton where he got game-winning on, but...
Not really his fault.
No.
But yeah, shall we get into those then? The 2 games from the Breakers in the NBL round, is it 18 or 19, Will?
18.
18. We had a Wednesday night Ignite Cup game against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix over in Melbourne. And this game was just so entertaining from an offensive standpoint. The Breakers did go down 116 to 123. Now, if I told you that scoreline, you'd think it's an NBA game.
Yeah.
It was a 40-minute NBL game, and both teams were just putting on an offensive masterclass, especially the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who looked like the 2016 Golden State Warriors.
They could not miss.
They literally shot the lights out from 3 in the first half.
They were up like 20-something points at halftime. all the analysts were writing the Breakers off.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
as you
game's
would.
over. And, I mean, they did end up winning, but, like, the Breakers came back in that second half so well. Brought it into, like, I think it was, like, at a 6-point game at some points. 5 even, something like that.
It was insane.
And then, obviously, just weren't able to quite get it done in the end there. But still, Southeast Melbourne, yeah, phenomenal showing. 74 points at halftime.
Ridiculous.
They had another game this round where they scored 74 points in 4 quarters. Insane.
Yeah. It's very interesting. So, yeah, Southeast Melbourne, like Will said, hot off the blocks. Wezai Wandu hit 4 straight threes to start the game. 4 from 4. Geordie Hunter was also just hitting so many shots. And this is a game where Nathan Sobey was very quiet. But everyone else stepped up. Ian Clark was huge in this game. Ian Clark has been one of the best acquisitions in the recent times. Obviously, we'll get into Sydney and Adelaide, who have picked up just 2 absolute weapons to round off the NBL season. But Ian Clark as a 6-man, with sending Hunter Maldonado to Brisbane, who's actually low-key been hooping for Brisbane as well, may I add. But Ian Clark, a wealth of experience, an NBA and NBL champion, and he's come off the bench. And this one as well. This was like his 2nd or 3rd game for Adelaide, for Southeast Melbourne, sorry. If you look at Hoopfest, Nathan Sobey was out sick. Ian Clark stepped up and they beat, must have been Adelaide, I think, in Hoopfest or Sydney. I can't remember actually, but Ian Clark went berserk in this game as well. 24 off the bench, 5 made threes against the Breakers on like 5 for 8, and a really big, deep 3 down the stretch. You couldn't stop him.
I mean, the Breakers didn't play terribly in this game. We had
I
54
thought we
points
played
a half.
excellent.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, we were definitely not our greatest.
No.
I mean, a lot of the shots Southeast Melbourne were making, it was a bit of luck that was going their way.
Oh, yeah.
They could not miss, but also there were a bunch of them where it was like, bro, the Breakers just could not get a stop. It was crazy. But we put up 54 points. So offensively, we were on fire as well.
Yeah.
Everybody was hitting.
The second half was incredibly interesting. Like Will said before, we brought it in within 5 or 6 points with, I think, 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter, which a crazy comeback. Not that Southeast Melbourne had, been iced out or anything. They still finished with 126, but we clawed all of our way back. But a lot of it was from free throws. The Breakers shot 49 free throws in this game.
Josh King was not happy about
Josh
that
King in the post-match presser made it very evident that he was a little bit pissed off. They only shot 19, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. So that's what, 30 more free throws?
And speaking of free throws, Sam Mennenga, he had 12 of them.
Out of 14?
Out of 14. Great free throw percentage.
Yeah.
He finished with 28 points in this one. Parker Jackson Cartwright, his running mate, 26 points and 9 assists.
Yeah.
So big showings from those two. But yeah, obviously couldn't get us the job done.
On the bright side, though, this was a Ignite Cup game. We won both the quarters in the second half, 3rd and 4th. So it did qualify us for the Ignite Cup final.
Yeah.
So that was something that was on the positive. I think it must have been on the Breakers' minds. Like, let's go out there and try win these quarters. And we clawed our way back into the game, obviously. It's a shame we didn't get the dub. A win like this would have been huge for the standings, especially in hindsight with what's kind of unfolded with the injuries and everything. But
I mean, Sam and PJC played almost the entire second half.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of teams they're down 20 at halftime. They're going to start, like, using their bench a bit more, especially going into the 4th quarter. Like, I forgot what the scoreline was at the 4th quarter. I think we're still down by, like, 15 going into the 4th. It's like, you'd start playing your bench, but Sam Mennenga starts out there on the 4th. Same with Parker Jackson Cartwright. Like, we were obviously playing to win those quarters.
Well, yeah, we're trying to at least have a bittersweet ending to the NBL season now that, I mean, we've been out of title contention for, in my opinion, most of the year. And, I mean, that's no discredit to some of the games we have played this season, but this would have been a huge win. But for Cop to kind of, and the boys, I'm assuming, just to kind of be like, all right, let's try to go out there and get some wins in this quarter for the Ignite Cup final. I mean, they have qualified. Pretty sure it's Adelaide, which is going to be interesting. But nonetheless, a lot of positives to take away from this game. Just, a little bit unlucky, I think, down the stretch for Southeast Melbourne. Just really proved in this game in particular, like, that they are the real deal. I mean, they've had many games where they've scored 115 plus this year.
They've got the 3 highest scoring games from a team this season.
Ridiculous. Yeah, they just have a lot of offensive masterclass. Josh King, I think I can't honestly say he might be unanimous Coach of the Year candidate this year. He's just been by far
definitely
the best.
runner.
Obviously, Mike Wells, when you're coaching the best team, you're always going to be looked at, but I mean, it kind of helps with the roster he's built. But Josh King's game plan, the way that Southeast Melbourne play basketball is just excellent. Everyone on the floor can shoot. Defensively, they're amazing. They get out in transition. They know how to play basketball. It's incredibly hard to stop, and they score a lot of points.
And I mean, yeah, it's rough for the break, losing that one, and then also the next game we'll get into against the 36ers. Two unfortunate losses, but like we played well in both of these games.
This is the worst part about it. I said it as well. Like the last 2 games we played in round 18, I think it was the best basketball we played all season, and we lost both of these games, and they just happened to be against the 1st and 2nd seed in the NBL.
We've been really finding our form lately, like with Sam Mennenga. So that
hurts even more. It hurts even more, yeah. So yeah, we will go into Friday night's game. This was against the Adelaide 36ers, who actually had lost back-to-back games. So this would have been their 3rd loss in a row if they were to go down. And this was an excellent game. Obviously, it went to overtime. We were down 10 with 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. We went on a pretty decent run in the second half, or second or third quarter. Shot the lights out. Big shout out to Max Darling, who's obviously come back from that concussion and eye injury, wearing a mask. He went 4 for 4 from the 3-point line, had 12 points. He was an integral piece of this team. Got stuck in a bit of foul trouble and then did something to his knee, I think, in the 3rd or 4th quarter, and that was the night done for him. But
hopefully it's nothing serious, because I don't think we need him now that Baker and Mennenga are both out.
Yeah, Max Darling was huge. 12 points on 4 for 4 from 3, and yeah, I mean, he's going to have to step up big time now with Mennenga gone, Baker gone. Shit, imagine someone else goes down injured.
He's going to be playing a lot of minutes of that 4, I think.
I think so too, and it's something that he's done. I mean, Cop had a lot of trust in him last season. He played a lot. Actually, he ended up starting quite a few games, which was, I mean, very confusing considering he hadn't done much. He actually signed with the Southland Sharks just recently too, so congrats to Max Darling on that. Obviously, he had a fair few big stint in Canterbury, so he's down to Southland.
It's going to be great when we get into the NZNBL.
NZNBL, a lot of already some big off-season signings, which, I mean, pre-season, we'll do a little bit of a pod kind of highlighting all the moves and stuff and our predictions for the NZNBL season. Very much looking forward to that. But just going back to this game, obviously, we forced overtime. Parker Jackson-Cartwright came up huge in that 3-minute stretch to end the game. And in overtime, well, I thought we were in complete control. Parker started with an and 1 3. Ruben Sarangi hit a massive 3. Brock was hitting his free throws. Kareem was hitting his free throws. But that bloody pesky Kiwi, Pero Cameron's son, Flynn Cameron, 2 massive 3s down the stretch. One of them when Ruben Sarangi bit a little bit too much on Bryce Cotton. And he hit that to make it within 1 point. We call a timeout. And this is where it all capitulated with about 10 seconds remaining, I think it was.
We had the game in hand, Finn.
We should have won.
It was our game to win.
Kareem Lopez, standing there with the ball in his hand. First of all, why are we giving an 18-year-old the keys to inbound the ball at a time like this?
Cop did take ownership for all of this, but like it doesn't make it hurt any less.
No. I don't know why the 18-year-old is given the chance to inbound the ball. And
should have been Parker Jackson-Cartwright inbounding it to Izaiah Brockington.
Something like
our best
that.
Free throw shooter.
So we ran an inbounds play, which, you know, Adelaide defended seemingly perfectly. Matt Kenyon subbed in, and he was excellent. Bryce Cotton made the right play, and we couldn't get it in. And that was 5-second violation, and, well, 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Couldn't make any subs, so we couldn't take Sam out. Mike Wells tried to sub in a few plays as well, but, you know, the refs kind of caught on to it. And with Sam Mennenga on, not a defensive liability at all. I think he's been quite good defensively this year, but Adelaide were running a very small lineup to close out this game. Ball's in Bryce Cotton's hand. Izaiah Brockington's picking up full court. And for whatever reason, the on-ball that came, Sam Mennenga did switch with Brockington and left Sam on an island with the greatest ever player of all time to touch the NBL, in my opinion.
Scorer.
One of the most clutch plays. He had many game winners for Perth, a few with Adelaide, and just a right foot step back top of the key. As soon as it went up, I knew it was game, and he hit it. And, well...
And again, like you said, Sam Mennenga's not a bad defender.
No.
But it's a hard ask to ask any big man in any form of basketball to guard a point guard who's that shifty as Bryce Cotton. Like, it's hard for any big to be able to guard someone like that.
And he's a closer.
Yeah.
He's not going to miss.
He's built for those moments.
But yeah, it was just an unfortunate way to go out. Playing the best team in the NBL, and, you know, to rub salt in the wounds, obviously, post-game, or, the day after, Sam's comes out with his injury report, and then Max, they were a bit worried about his knee, but look, the post-match presser, we'll get into that in a bit. I did attend over Zoom, but we do look across the box score. We had 6 guys in double figures, 4 in 20 plus. Like, we played so well. Kareem Lopez has been absolutely flourishing in the last week or so as well. Like,
his draft stock's definitely going up from these last few games.
Oh, I can't believe the comparisons about him and Dash Daniels at the start of the year. Like, actually just baffled me.
And what we were saying about how his one downfall is kind of he can't really, like, get his own bucket. I've seen flashes.
I have as well.
He's definitely got the potential. He's, like, starting to show that more. I think, like, with the right coach behind them in the NBA and, like, the right role, I think he can definitely flourish into creating his own shot.
He's like 6'9", incredibly long, athletic, has been shooting the three ball at a great clip this year. When he does get downhill, he's very hard to stop.
Yeah.
He's got amazing balance as well. That's the thing. He
as well.
bumps off growing adults, dunks on people. Like he's been an integral piece of this season, and for him as a next star to be going to the NBA, first of all, awesome that we've given him that platform for the last 2 seasons to flourish into the player that he has. But man, it's going to be a huge void to fill for next season, which is just going to be so hard. Like, as a next star, which is technically an import player, I guess, it's going to be really hard to find somebody at that same level that he's been playing at with his youth around the world that are keen to come to New Zealand. Like, it's going to be really rough.
Hopefully we can
trying
get
to fill that void.
another next star. That would be ideal.
Well, the one thing that the old ownership did really well was pursuing very talented next stars.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Martas Rustabisius, we had Hugo Besson and Ousmane Dieng. Ousmane Dieng went lottery with the Oklahoma City Thunder. We had RJ Hampton for bloody hell, who was projected lottery pick. Him and LaMelo, like the whole thing started off.
Out the NBA now?
Yeah, he's gone. But I mean, he was a projected lottery pick before he came. I don't know if that decision to come to New Zealand kind of stunted his career growth a little bit, but I mean, it all started with the old ownership team who were just really good at making connections with these young players. Like the Kareem Lopez signing was excellent. And obviously that 2-year deal really helped for us to come into next year. And he'll be heading off to the NBA, which is awesome. But I don't know if our ownership group, the new one, has the connections that the old ownership did because they were quite international. Matt Walsh being a former NBA player and like a businessman, essentially, like obviously was quite good at giving proposals to these younger guys with management teams and everything. Who knows if we still have that type of pull with this new ownership team, but something that we need to do is try and sign somebody who has that X factor that Kareem Lopez does, which is a really hard feat, but it is possible.
What are your thoughts on the next stars, bro? Because I like it, but outside of like, obviously LaMelo Ball went on to the NBA to do great things. You got Alex Sarr, who's looking like he's going to be a dominant beast. But outside of those two, like, there's not really been many that have gone to that next level in the NBA and like excelled.
It's been interesting. Yeah, there's Dash Daniels.
I don't know if it almost stumps their career a bit, but
I think it's a good opportunity for
like Ousmane Dieng not really getting minutes for the Thunder. Rupert, he's on my team, the Trailblazers, and he's been playing well lately, but still end of the bench guy. I don't know.
It is an interesting one. I think the idea is amazing. There was a player in Australia, I think it's Luke Cooper, maybe his team is. Born at like the number 1 ranked 2009 player in Australia, like a 6'6" point guard. Instead of going to college, he's committed to the NBL Next Stars program for the next like 3 seasons. Yeah. So he could go get a bag in Aussie, not in Australia, in America. For this, these NIL deals are insanely lucrative for players like that. For him to commit to staying in Australia, one, puts a huge spotlight on the NBL. Yeah. It's becoming a more attractive place to land players that. Instead of wanting to take the college route, first of all, it was kind of like, oh, you can come make some money. And you can do that in college now. But for these younger players to play against growing professional athletes rather than college athletes, I think there's definitely a pull factor with that. And like being in a professional lifestyle, they don't have to study. They don't have to do any of that. I think there's definitely a pull factor towards that. But I can kind of agree with you. Out of only like a fair few players that
was
have...
Josh Giddey next star?
Yeah, he was. Josh Giddey was as well. But
so that's 3, I guess.
Yeah. You've had other players like, Al Mansa, the Spanish guy, played for Perth last year. That didn't end up translating to everything, but he was a projected, I think, quite high pick before he came and didn't end up working out. But there was another player on Perth at the moment who was another next star, and he was supposed to be projected really high, and he has barely touched the floor this year. So
hopefully Kareem's that next guy that joins that group of LaMelo, Sarr, and Josh Giddey is a great NBA player as well.
You'd love to see it, but that's something the Breakers... They need to do, but just a little bit of a sidetrack during this chat about the game. Parker was excellent. Sam obviously played through a broken wrist. And
for Adelaide, Bryce Cotton, 33 points, 9 assists, obviously, and the game winner, killed us. And John Jenkins, their new signing, he is looking like the perfect signing for Adelaide. Yeah. And that's scary because he's a sniper. Finn was saying off pod, you think he's the best shooter in the league now?
Could be one of the best pure. Like, just from this game, I think he had 6 made threes.
Yeah.
He's got one of the quickest jumpers. Like, he's Chris Golding-esque. Like, Chris Golding's just an absolute weapon, and everyone knows how to kind of play Chris Golding now. But he's
kind of stolen DJ's role, though. Like, DJ Vasiljevic.
Well...
He was just kind of a shooter.
DJ's been shunted to the bench on Adelaide, so kind
because of Flynn, I guess.
Well, because of just everyone else that's on the team, I guess, as well. But John Jenkins looks like an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And obviously, Troy Brown Jr. was brought in for a defensive guy that shot 3-pointers. I mean,
Didn't really
he
do that.
shot the ball awfully,
Yeah.
to put it lightly. John Jenkins has come in and already proven to me that he's going to be the perfect fit for this team.
And then
around other
Sydney
players.
also combated that with Torrey Craig signings. So two
Holy.
big signings for two teams that are likely to be. I think they're the two favorites for the finals now. But then you got
Oh.
Southeast Melbourne as well.
Yeah,
It's
the
tough.
league is in a very good place, and with I think I don't know how many rounds are left, maybe 4 or 5 rounds remaining. It's going to be a close run, but yeah, heartbreak essentially for the Breakers with the loss to Southeast Melbourne, the loss to Adelaide, the
Sam
loss of
Mennenga
Sam,
injury.
Rob Baker being announced he won't be playing. Just so many things unfolded in this game where it honestly feels like it might be the end of the road for the Breakers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
No, it is.
Let's get
Couple good games though.
Yeah,
Let's get into the other games of the round. We'll quickly go over those.
no press conference.
Press conference first. Skip to the press conference, and then we'll be back to talk about the other games in the round.
Just a few from me, boys. Obviously, this is a tough loss to swallow, but just a positive, I guess, down 10 with 3 minutes left. Cop, are you really proud with the resilience the boys showed to fight back into the game and force overtime?
No, 100%. And like I said, as a group, we kept believing we were making big plays down the stretch, and then at the same time, we found a way to go to the overtime, and then they made big plays. Like I said, Flynn Cameron hit 2 big threes. In the end, one from the corner, one for 45, and like I said, that's basketball, and they were just this much better tonight. But like I said, there is no reason to put the head down, and we need to learn, take this frustration, and use it as a power the rest of the season.
Obviously, we've touched on the inbounds play that didn't go your way, but was the game plan always to switch that on-ball screen with Bryce onto Sam at the end there?
No, it wasn't, but that's was the plan to play our show defense with Price with Sam. We didn't want to switch it, but it happened in basketball. The guys made decision, and then Price got to his spot, what he has been doing all year. We talk about the left-hand step back, and game was right there. So, but these things, if he inbound the ball and I take the responsibilities, we win the game.
Izaiah, you've been really good when your name's been called upon this season. I think you've been an absolute rock when the balls come your way. Is it hard to stay ready, though, when sometimes the ball doesn't come your way?
A little. I guess you could say in the beginning, like earlier in the year, that it would mess with me mentally or like with my rhythm. But I mean, it's like, I just really blocked out, all the noise and just, believe in, the reps and the work that I've put in. And, as a basketball player, like, you live for those moments at the end. I want to be a guy that my coach and my team can trust at the end of the game. I want them to have confidence in me. So, I just go out there and I try to stay ready, really. First half, second half, I just want to be dependable whenever the time is needed. So, yeah.
And just lastly from me, boys, the last 2 games have been against the top 2 teams in the competition, and they've come very close. Obviously, Wednesday night was close against Southeast Melbourne as well, and obviously what's happened tonight. If you do make the 6, which is a very likely outcome with what's happening over in Tasmania, are you very confident you can maybe cause some upsets and play in tournaments and maybe deeper in the playoffs, considering what you've been producing?
Well, I mean, first of all, we have our own problems right now with Sam and Max. Let's hope both of those guys are nothing too serious, and obviously that's gonna be a big topic if Sam is out, for example. I don't know. It's been giving so much to us, but like I said, then the other guys need to step up, and we keep fighting. But we will know better next week when we get all the results. But like I said earlier, we keep fighting, I think we are pretty close to get to the Ignite Cup final, which is something really great result to play final and have a chance to win something this year. But yeah, we see who is available and what is the situation with Max and Sam and everybody else.
Yeah, we don't really, we're not really worried about what other teams are doing. It's like we're still the ones down. We're still the ones in 7th, so we just got to take care of our own business. Can't really watch, and depend on other people to do or not do something. So, yeah, we just got to take care of our own.
Hope you guys enjoyed that press conference.
They were looking dark.
Insight there.
They were looking dark.
Yeah.
Brockington and Cop were looking very, very dark.
When you asked about that Sam Mennenga, how he was doing, yeah, the room kind of went into a different mood.
Yeah, one of the other reporters brought it up earlier, and I didn't really bring it up, and then they kind of just went off into a tangent about it, and they're like, oh, Sam's bad.
Yeah.
And, I spoke to you after the press conference, and I was like, dude, like, apparently Sam is in trouble.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you mean? He played the last 10 minutes. And then, obviously, Olgun Ulick reported on Saturday at, like, midday that he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So they weren't hopeful then, and then obviously all came out. So, but
unfortunate news.
Cop and Brock, they seemed obviously incredibly sad with what happened.
Yeah.
But for them, they actually were taking positives away. Like, they played so well and everything like that. And, I mean, they have the Ignite Cup final. They still think they can make it, but
who knows? Rob Lowe could be our saving grace. Come in there, do what he did for Melbourne
He's
last
been
year.
there before.
Exactly.
He's been there before.
If there's one thing, he's got that experience. He knows what position he's in now, and I think he's going to play his role well.
I think so.
Hopefully.
He can still stretch the floor.
Yes.
Better than Sam.
Let's look at the positives.
But other than that, not really good downhill
We're
anymore.
not going to be having any spin moves baseline into a dunk
No.
from our big man.
Veteran
Put it that
presence
way.
though, Rob Lowe. Veteran presence.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, we'll get into the rest of the NBL round our team. There was a lot going on. Some very
We'll run
good
through
games.
these ones quickly.
Yeah, we'll run through it fairly quickly. Our first game of the round, I think it was another game on Wednesday night. Melbourne United just in dominant performance against the Brisbane Bullets, 99-66, unsurprisingly here. However, one bright spot that has come out of all the drama that's happened with Brisbane this year, obviously Tyrell Harrison's been out with concussion. You have Javon Freeman-Limberty out, Casey Prather, Dakota, the list goes on. Stu Lash getting fired. So much has happened. But the one bright spot, you pointed out as well, I've talked about it on a previous podcast as well. Their young gun, I don't know if he's a DP or if he's just signed, the local big, Jacob Holt, the 22-year-old, has taken this opportunity by the scruff of the neck and has proven that he could be, in the next 5 to 6 years, develop into a premier centre in the league, genuinely.
He was the only player for Brisbane in double figures, and let alone, not even double figures. He had 23 points and 8 rebounds on 9 for 10 from the field.
Yeah.
So he was literally carrying that team to their 66 points total. And yeah, he's just completely, with Tyrell's absence, obviously Tyrell, one of the best centers in the league when he's healthy.
Yeah.
With him out, healthy, Jacob Holt has stepped into this role, and yeah, he's excelled. I think he's definitely going to be a name that teams are going to be after going into next season.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract status is like or anything like that, but
whether he wants to re-sign with Brizzy, obviously, if Tyrell's going back to Brisbane next year, he probably won't want to because that'll be less minutes and stuff. But I think there could be a spot out there for him where he gets an increased role on a team next year.
He's 22, man. Sky's the limits for the kid. And I mean, I call him a kid. He's only 2 years younger than me. But considering what he's been producing in the absence of some of their better players, he's really just taken this opportunity and flourished with it, which is, great to see. These are the type of storylines you like, even when, Brisbane's having a season like the one they are. There's still a bright spot for them for the future if they decide to retain Jacob for a few more years, which is great. But yeah, I mean, Melbourne seemingly just kind of a walk in the park for this one, unsurprisingly.
On Melbourne's side, Finn Delaney, Tyson Walker, Chris Golding, and Milton Doyle all in double figures. So yeah, I mean, one of the better teams in the league. They're going to have multiple guys that can go and get you a bucket, and those 4 were all in double figures. So
absolutely
got them the job done.
Following game, I think this must have been on Thursday night. This was one of the best games of the round. Kendrick Davis set a career high 40 points as he lit up Tassie. This was a game that was just very good. Obviously, they did get up. What is it? 105-94 against Tasmania, and this is me going, oh my god, Tassie lose another. I think they lost 3 straight in the last 3. They've lost 3 straight. But yeah, Sydney have looked like the best team in the NBL since the FIBA break. I'm pretty sure they are. And now with the acquisition of Torrey Craig and the absence of Bull Cool, and Xavier Cooks has now come back from injury. He played the most recent game with limited minutes. But Kendrick Davis, honestly, the back end of the season could make a run for the MVP. Obviously, I feel like Bryce Cotton has had it kind of wrapped up for a majority of the season. But man, Kendrick Davis is just on an absolute
It's
tear.
still Bryce Cotton's to lose, but 40 points, 8 assists in this one. He's definitely making his case for MVP, I think, Kendrick Davis. Torrey Craig as well, the new signing, like we mentioned, massive signing for Sydney. 12 points off the bench in this one.
First game.
This was his first game. He did in a later game in the round, which we'll get into. He played phenomenally.
Yeah.
But 12 off the bench, and Kawhi with 14 off the bench as well.
Man, Kawhi, man, they should call the Sixth Man of the Year award the Kawhi Award, because I don't know how we could ever lose it.
Yeah.
If the NBL ever expands, which I know they'll have thoughts of doing that in the near future, I'm pretty sure Gold Coast is looking like a pretty, honestly, almost locked in. They're not going to put a New Zealand team in. When they do the expansion and they do an expansion draft, Kawhi, if you're whoever is buying this team or coaching this new team that comes out, your first player you need to find and get a contract for to start your team is Kawhi.
Yeah, agreed.
100%.
Although, I mean, if he did sign with another team, they'd want him to be starting.
And I think he's going to flourish.
But you reckon?
He's one of the best.
I think he's like figured out that 6-man role to perfection.
Well, he has.
He's like a Lou Williams. Did
Yeah.
you see Lou Williams play well when he started? Not really.
He'd pay 36 minutes off the bench. Like,
Yeah, it's a mentality thing. He has to come off the bench to play well.
that's actually, Lou Will did talk about that
Yeah.
in his time at the NBA. He said he liked watching it and figuring out how to insert himself into the game. What a player. One of my favorite Clippers of all time, actually. Genuinely. But no.
Not many to choose from.
You're right. You're right. How rude. Bit of a stray there.
Yeah. David Johnson led Tassie with 23 points and 7 boards off the bench. And Bannon, 18 and 15.
Shout out Josh Bannon.
So,
Shout out Josh Bannon. Been good all year.
Moving on to the next game of the round, though. Perth versus Cairns. And this one was an absolute blowout. 106-69 win for Perth. Poor Jack McVeigh, man.
Oh, I feel bad for him. He's actually had a good year, like genuinely.
He scored half of Kansas points in this one.
That's awful.
69 total points. He scored 34.
Yeah.
Not another single player on his team was in double figures. I think
feel
the next
bad
highest
for him.
was like 8 points.
You know how we were skeptical about Jack McVeigh being worth $1 million at the start of the year? I think he's definitely proven it.
He just doesn't have a team around him.
No. It's not fair. Warrenberg's been out for most of the year. Rain Smith's been out for most of the year. They signed Mojave King, who's kind of plummeted. Andrew Andrews is wildly inconsistent. Like, this team is it's just been an unfortunate road for Cairns this year, unfortunately. But it's kind of just what happens.
And on the other end, you had all the Perth starters in double figures, led by Elijah Pepper, 25 points off 7 3-pointers.
Yeah, what a demon.
And Doolittle had 19.
Yeah.
And I also just want to quickly mention Dante Russo-Nance back in the lineup, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Injuries to Jerron Riley and David Duke, obviously, still dealing with an injury.
Very interesting one around this, though. Like, they had the opportunity to sign a replacement like Adelaide and Sydney did.
Yeah.
Perth decided not to. There was reports that David Duke Jr. was going to be out for the rest of the NBL season, but they're actually quite hopeful that he'll be back in the next 2 weeks.
I think so as well.
So, and I mean, he's not a true point guard, but somebody that can handle the ball.
But it's great seeing another Kiwi getting back minutes. Obviously, he played more minutes at the start of the year, and then Jerron Riley kind of stepped up and took over that role.
Jaron was flourishing. Jaron, I don't know, but all I know is that he's very good. He's a very good point guard. But Dante has a place for some
21 minutes
league.
off the bench. So
Dante has a place in this league. I'm wholeheartedly think he's a great player.
Well.
Signed for the Jets this upcome season again.
Signed for the Breakers next season. Backup point guard.
Honestly, could happen. I will move on. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 118 over 91 for the Cairns Taipans. This was an interesting game because, well, the Cairns were actually off to a really hot start, and then, well, it all kind of capitulated when Jack McVeigh and Marcus Lee had to be separated because I think they were up 20-8 in the first quarter. Jack McVeigh goes for a layup. It was literally dropping, and Marcus Lee tried to put back it and hit it out the rim.
The coach was livid. Adam Ford was livid. He was like, he instantly subbed him. I don't know did Marcus Lee even get back into the game?
I have no idea.
He finished with 13 minutes, so
he's not a good player, man. Honestly, no offense to Marcus Lee, just a waste of an import spot.
And Jack McVeigh did not mince his words at halftime. He said, and I quote, "Some dudes aren't coming to play right now, and that will leave me pissed off."
Yeah,
fair enough.
He's a great player.
Yeah,
and he's been like we just talked about. He's been trying his ass off all season. absolutely lit us up for 47 points in that one game against Cairns not long ago. But
He had a bit of help in this one, to be fair. Andrew Andrews had 20 points and 11 dimes.
Yeah,
Like we
much
just mentioned, wildly inconsistent. He'll have games like this, and then he'll have games where he has 4 points and 2 assists.
yeah.
It's like, poor Jack.
Yeah, but Southeast Melbourne just honestly looking like one of the hottest teams in the NBL right now. Them, Sydney, and I mean Adelaide did lose 2 in a row before beating us, but I mean those 3 teams in particular just looking so hot.
100%.
God, man,
It's
Southeast Melbourne
so
in
hard to
particular.
choose who's going to win out of those 3, man.
I can't.
It's one
separate
of those
them.
3.
I
It has to be.
cannot separate them.
Nah.
No, there's no way. 5-game series as well in the finals. Oh my god, it's gonna
I
be
think the
insane.
only thing that can separate the 3 of them is Adelaide have Bryce Cotton.
Sydney have Kendrick Davis, bro.
But Bryce Cotton's the greatest NBL player of all time.
It's a very good point. Very, very good point.
And
Shall we move on?
Southeast Melbourne have Nathan Sobey as well. They also have that guy.
Southeast Melbourne also have Ian Clark off the bench.
Yeah.
And Sydney Kings have Torrey Craig.
Who knows? It's going to be an entertaining
Oh,
playoffs.
bro, the
Can't wait to get
postseason,
into
the
it.
postseason's just going to be next level good.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to it. But moving on, Illawarra Hawks back in the win column finally against a battered Tasmania team.
Needed that win.
Yeah, and well, now that Tassie are absolutely bruised and battered, this is like we've talked about it before. Illawarra have been given a wide open opportunity to sneak into the play-in tournament, which is crazy. A fully healthy team outside of Jonah Bolden. They just have JaVale McGee, who's still in good form. I think just hasn't been really talked about as much because they've been just so average this year. But I mean, McGee led the team, 23 points, was almost perfect from the field as well. But I mean, a few other players on Tassie played well. David Johnson with 21, Josh Bannon in particular, 26 and 8.
That's a good guy.
I've said it all year. Josh Bannon's a great player. Rate him a
Yes.
lot actually as a local.
Yeah.
But Tassie season, I still, like I said earlier on, I think there's a chance they can still make the 6. Just because with how the table's kind of sitting at the moment.
Yeah.
Illawarra need to go almost
It's theirs
perfect.
to lose.
It is, but it's scary for them.
It
Anyone can beat them now. Even
Yeah, I
Brisbane,
agree.
I reckon.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Even Brisbane.
Jacob Holt might go for 40 to get the job done for them. Who knows? Next game of the round, massive one. Sydney
Huge
versus
game.
Adelaide. Potential finals showcase
Yeah.
right here. And Sydney got the job done for them. 106 to 101. Torrey Craig praising Kendrick Davis in the post-match interview, saying he's the MVP. KD for MVP, he was saying. I was like, is he talking about Kevin Durant? Then I was like, never mind, Kendrick Davis. But yeah, Torrey Craig himself, 26 points off the bench for this one.
He's such a good pickup,
Showing
man.
how good of a pickup he's been for Sydney. Who do you think is the better pickup? Torrey Craig for Sydney or John Jenkins?
Torrey Craig. Because Torrey Craig's better and more of a two-way player. John Jenkins, I don't know much about John Jenkins, right? Like, played for Team USA. Mike Wells has a good connection with him. They bought him out of a contract. Like, it's going to be a great shooter for this remainder of the season. But Torrey Craig's, first of all, played in New Zealand before.
Mm-hmm.
He's played in the NBL before. He's gone to the NBA. I think it's been a while since he's been in the NBL, but he's flourished as a player. He's older. He's a veteran. And he's also just defensively in the NBA. He was a demon.
Yeah.
And he's been in this league before. I think they needed to fill a void for Bull Quall, who was probably leading the depoy candidate. I think it was a perfect replacement, and you have more offensive firepower. John Jenkins is going to give you some threes. Torrey Craig's going to give you a more well-rounded game. And I think he was a better fit for Sydney compared to John Jenkins for Adelaide. But
I agree.
John Jenkins for Adelaide, though, is exactly what they needed. Don't get me wrong. But I think Torrey Craig's going to impact the game on a few more different levels.
I'm with you on that one. Speaking of Kendrick Davis, like I mentioned before, 20 points in this one, 14 assists.
Yeah, that's tough.
So he's showing that he can not only score, but he can find his open teammates and help them score as well. Just what you want from your point guard.
Yeah, dude. This is a race that is honestly, genuinely, with about 4 or 5 rounds remaining, it actually might be a wide open MVP race for KD to potentially sneak in and take this. Is voter fatigue a thing?
It is.
Because, I mean, Bryce has 5 MVPs. Like, this.
And speaking of Bryce, he was held to 17 in this one. Like, 17 for any other player in the league, decent game.
Yeah, for
Bryce
him,
Cotton, that's
well, he's
below
averaging
average.
like 25, 26 a game. Like,
So he kind of got clamps put on him. But John Jenkins, like we
Solid,
just
yeah.
mentioned, stepped up. He had 20 for Adelaide, and Flynn Cameron as well, who's obviously a most improved candidate. Maybe
I think he's
now
got
with Sam Mennenga going down.
Yeah, I think he's got it wrapped up now. To
14
be honest.
points and 8 assists. So
The race now for MIP is between Flynn Cameron and Owen Foxwell from the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. But
Cameron as well.
I think Flynn Cameron might have it wrapped up now that, like, Sam was probably having a better season.
Sam would still qualify though, right? Even though he's gone down with injury.
But you never know that the storylines that could be written.
Yeah.
in the last six games for these teams.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Flynn Cameron's a dog, man.
He was right there with Sam Mennenga. I think Sam was
Yeah.
first. Flynn was a clear second, in my opinion.
It's close, though.
Yeah,
It's
it was.
close.
It was close.
Yeah. And the last game of the round, actually an absolute, there was so much going on in this one. Milton Doyle, first of all, sorry, I'll give you the win. Melbourne 74-73 against the Perth Wildcats. Milton Doyle came up huge, hit a big three-pointer at the very end to kind of give them the win. Perth did lead by 14 points, I think, in the second quarter, so they blew a lead there. And the ending of this game was, quite dramatic, really. Perth had a chance to win it. Doolittle put up a three, which I think he probably should have passed it up. Pepper was wide open next to him, but
He's also kind of earned that right to put it up there.
I agree.
Because he's had moments against us, for example, where
far out.
fourth quarter, he just turns it up a notch. He had 4 threes in a row against us, I think it was.
Yeah.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But he's earned that right to take that last shot.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Pepper was there, and Pepper's probably the best 3-point shooter on their team.
Yeah. Windler as well, potentially. But
Windler as well.
yeah, I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, pass it up, but you can't be mad at him for taking that shot.
He's
hard. Their guy.
When you're watching, it's like, oh, yeah, you probably should have passed it. When you're in that moment, you're not thinking of Doolittle wants that.
Yeah.
And he missed the shot, and then
earned that.
post game, Jesus, JLA and Doolittle
Bro, JLA needs to chill, man.
heated up. First of all, JLA was pissed off about something or other at Christian Doolittle. First of all, JLA's been a premier big man in this league, worth $1 million. Cool. Doolittle, my opinion, it's been the X factor on this team.
Yeah.
Why are they bumping heads? And the way that JLA reacted in this, completely unprofessional.
Oh, 100%. You can't be having your two best players butting heads like that.
Nah.
And it's not a good look, especially for fans who can see that. And then just to, ice it all off, Dante Russo-Nance comes in to, try and cool off JLA. Just shoves him.
Aggressive.
Full power, aggressively shoves him out of the way. Why are you doing that to your teammates, bro?
I don't know.
Crazy.
Bit of a hothead, JLA,
Must
I
be.
think. But
He had a good game in this one. He had 24
played well.
points and 11 rebounds. So maybe that played a part in it. But there's no excuses in my opinion. I want to know what the full details of that argument were.
What's the locker room dynamic like between these two?
Yeah.
Doolittle's their guy, I reckon.
Oh, he is.
One of the most... I genuinely think Doolittle was one of the most underrated stars in the NBL. Genuinely. So,
since Bryce Cotton left that team, he's definitely taken over that team.
Given the keys
to Perth. And yeah, he had 19 points in this one. It's not a bad game. But yeah, this can't be happening.
No. And looking over to Melbourne, Jesse Edwards, massive game, 18 points and 17 rebounds.
Best rebounder in the NBL for sure.
Yeah, you'd think so, eh? 17's a lot, bro.
17. It's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, big game there. It's funny, we were talking about Southeast Melbourne against us, 74 points and a half.
Yeah.
Melbourne, 74 points in the entire game. Yeah. Just funny how that kind of happens sometimes.
Yeah. How good of a half that was for
Exactly.
Southeast Melbourne.
And let's have a look at the ladder, actually, while I just pull it up. So I'm a little bit unprepared here. But the ladder is looking very, very interesting. Obviously, we have Adelaide still on top. They're 20 wins, 7 losses. Southeast Melbourne right on their tails, 19-8.
Yep.
And then you have Sydney, 18-9, and Melbourne also on 18 wins with 18-10. So that
Melbourne ain't jumping up.
No,
Melbourne's the 4 seed.
Yeah, I think Sydney have a chance to make it a little bit interesting here, I reckon, though.
Yeah. I think, that battle between the top 3, that's interesting.
Very much so.
I don't know. All one game between each of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see how it finishes up.
Yeah, and then you got Perth, who are 16-11. Chances are they could actually jump Melbourne if Melbourne don't find some form.
Yeah, who knows?
Obviously, they just beat them.
That top 5 is definitely a lock, though. No one's falling out of that top 5.
Oh, no,
for sure.
that is completely locked in.
It's just that 6th spot. It's the last one up for grabs. It's
6th
between
spot is
3 teams, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So you have Tassie, 12-16. Got New Zealand, 10-17. I don't know if we have it in us to kind of get this win here.
Game in hand on them. Definitely need the next one.
And you got Illawarra, who are 9-16. 1 win behind us. However, they've played 2 less games than both us.
3
and
games
3
in
less
hand
games
on
than
Tassie.
Tasmania. So like I said before, and like you've said as well, Will, wide open for Illawarra to sneak into the 6th spot. And, they have JaVale McGee at the end of the day.
They do.
Premier big man in this league. But it's wide open, that 6th spot. And the
Cairns
top...
and Brizzy rounding out the 9 and
the
10.
wooden spoon.
Wooden spoon. Oh, Brizzy has a shot here. Brizzy has a shot here, guys. They're 6-21. Kansas 7-20. Could catch him. Who knows?
This top 3 race is very interesting.
A little bit of help from Marcus Lee and Brizzy might be able to jump the Ken stipends.
Goodness gracious me. And also Breakers this week, they've got Melbourne United at home. Thomas Abercrombie's getting his uniform, his jersey number retired, which
Legend.
honestly, yeah, a legend. 16 seasons at the Breakers. Will and I should be in attendance. I don't know. Things happen where sometimes we say we're going to go and then we can't, but we're hoping that we'll be at this one. And it'd be great to see Thomas Abercrombie's jersey retirement ceremony.
For sure.
So really looking forward to that on Friday night. And that's against Melbourne, a big game. And I don't know who's going to stop Jesse Edwards.
No.
So that's going to be
It's
interesting.
going to be an interesting round.
Yeah.
Let's quickly go over some NBA action.
We always drag it on, but we're going to get into this a little bit more.
First of all, let's just talk about our two teams. I know people love to hear about how well the Blazers and Clippers are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers, they have been doing well, I have to admit.
Best team currently in the NBA.
Shut up, man.
We were 6-21. We are 20-24. No team in the history of the NBA has ever started with a 6-21 record and gone over 500. We are 4 wins behind. So, and Kawhi Leonard, well, let's just say he's playing some of the best basketball of his career. And John Collins, this is a funny one. John Collins, you know how we talked about how average John Collins was? He was in trade talks. Soon as they come out, he starts hooping.
Didn't you have him in fantasy? You dropped him?
Yep. Because he was playing so bad. But now he's hooping. Big game against the Lakers not long ago, actually. And John Collins hit a huge 3.
Yeah. Well done, Clippers. You made it into the 10 seed. You are rolling, I got to admit. But another team that are...
You know what? And I'll admit this. The Blazers are rolling too.
The Blazers are rolling too. We've been hot as lately. I think we're 7-3 in our last 10. And you really notice it in games where Denny Avdija plays and Denny Avdija doesn't play. Denny Avdija sat out the game yesterday against Toronto Raptors. We lost. But before that, when he's playing, he's having an incredible season.
Oh, I got it.
26,
he will be
7
an
and
all-star.
7.
He will be an all-star.
He better be an all-star. He has put this team on his back, and yeah, he's looked phenomenal. Drew Holiday's back from injury. That's massive.
Oh, he's
for
back?
us. He's back.
That's news to me.
He's been playing incredible as well.
There you go.
Caleb Love, I want to give a shout out to Caleb Love.
Filled the void.
He's like 5th in points per game in rookies, and he was undrafted, but might I add.
Filled the void. UNC legend, actually.
He's been playing phenomenally. There's so many guys I can name. Shaden Sharp has looked incredible. Monty Kamara, Donovan Clingan. Yeah, we got a great team.
I was low on you guys going into this year, but the rise of Denny Avdija has been very good. And, you know, speaking of All-Star selection as well, what are your thoughts on the All-Star starters from the West and the East?
Yeah, so
Are you happy with them?
We got Shea, Luka, Steph, Wemby, and Jokic. I might piss off a few people here, maybe Warriors fans, but I think Anthony Edwards deserved that starter spot. If you're going purely off, like, obviously Steph Curry's got the name value,
and he's
going to get in there, but like Anthony Edwards has had a better season than Steph Curry. Their team's better than the Golden State Warriors. He should have started over Steph.
Curry at 37 years old is having one hell of a season, though.
He is, but the team's worse and his numbers are worse than Ant. So like, there's literally no argument.
I mean, it's a fan vote at the end of the day, right?
It is,
but
I guess. And he got the players' vote as well, I think.
But, that's still a thing.
I guess that's just respect from like his fellow players.
He's still been good. He's still been good. And
he's still been good.
Look over to the East. We have Cade, Giannis,
Jaylen Brown, Brunson,
and
Tyrese Maxey.
Thoughts on those? Weird that they have a lot of guards in there, which I thought was a bit strange. But
I mean, you kind of have to because there's not that many good forwards. Obviously, Giannis is a lock. Jaylen Brown has been phenomenal this season. Yeah, definitely really deserves it.
It's where the Knicks have looked.
Cade, number 1 seed in the East, he deserves it. I think Maxey and Brunson. I think Donovan Mitchell deserved a starter spot, if I'm being honest. I mean, the Cavs have been struggling.
Cavs have been weird this year, eh?
Mitchell's been averaging 30, bro.
But the Cavs have just been kind of...
Yeah, they have.
From the first seed last year to... Where are they now?
7, I think.
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
It is weird.
They have a good roster, too.
Garland's been out injured, to be fair. But
and Lonzo Ball was... I mean, he's out the rotation
It'll be interesting to see who the reserves are in each conference, but yeah. No, can't wait.
Okay, now, yes or no on who you think should make it? Denny Avdija, yes?
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard?
No.
Okay.
The Clippers are below us, and Kawhi's not been as good as Denny Avdija.
Yeah, he has.
No, he has not.
In recent times, he has.
No, he has not. Season, you got to look at the whole season. What's he averaging on the season?
No, I don't know. Maybe like
28, maybe slightly more than Denny in points, but then he's not giving you 7 dimes per game. He's not giving you the rebounding of Denny.
How many subs do they get? 7? Or is it 6?
7.
What other players are you taking over him?
In the West?
Yep.
So Ant, Locke.
Yep. Denny.
Denny.
Yep. Don't say LeBron, I'll slap you.
Booker.
Booker?
Yeah, the Suns
Shooting?
the Suns are like the 6th.
Yeah, they got to
seed,
have.
bro.
Okay, Booker. Yep.
You put me on the spot here. The OKC have to get a second player for sure.
J-Dub's been okay.
Chet,
Chet
I'd
probably.
say Chet.
Okay,
Yeah.
still got 3 more.
Jamal Murray for the Nuggets. has
Oh
been
yeah, that's a
cooking.
fair point.
Who else is up there in the Spurs? Nah,
If Austin Reeves was healthy, he might have made it.
he might have been. I think LeBron still gets.
No.
LeBron still gets in there.
I hate
LeBron
that he
still gets in
will.
there.
Kawhi's been better than him.
He's the GOAT. Well,
Yes.
one or two.
Somebody clip it. Somebody clip it.
He's
he
the
just said LeBron's the
he's
GOAT.
second greatest player. of
Yeah,
all
that's
time.
going up. That's going up.
LeBron's getting.
I
in
think
there, I'll
Kawhi.
pay
I think Kawhi will get it. To be honest,
I don't think
you know
so.
what? They might as well just chuck James Harden in there as well.
I don't think so.
But no, I'm happy with the start
Oh,
of that.
the Rockets. I was forgetting the Rockets players. KD and Sengun.
Yeah,
They're both getting in over Kawhi.
yeah, fair.
Sorry, bro.
All right, I think Kawhi will still make it somehow. But yeah, that's the NBA. There's probably so much more, but we are running a little bit over
OKC
time.
can't break the Warriors' record.
No, they can't.
Well,
Which
yeah.
was
Are they
we did
already-
the
they
poll.
already had
We
9
did the
losses?
poll like 4 or 5 weeks ago. We did
when
the
they
poll,
had 2 losses.
mate. It was like 90% yes.
Yeah.
What has they've capitulated? Jalen
Sorry, they
Williams.
actually. Oh yeah, 37-9.
Jalen Williams' return has been worse for them.
Mm.
Interesting how that happens.
Spurs are on their tail now.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
NBA's cooking up. All Stars coming up.
Yeah.
I'd quickly just add. Don't like the All Star format. I think it sucks.
Oh, the world verse.
And like playing round games and then
Yeah.
the finals, stupid. Go back to East versus West.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all we have for this week.
The poll.
Poll.
Last episode. Will Petteri Koponen be coaching next year? You said you were going to save your thoughts for the next episode.
Yeah.
I think it was like 88% no.
I'd say no now.
I don't think we'll see him.
Unfortunately.
I don't think we'll see him coaching the Breakers next year. As much as he's a great guy, and I think
Yeah.
his mind is great. I don't know. I just don't think he'll be there next year. I think we're gonna see. I think we might. I want to see Judd head coach next year.
You know what? I got a
potentially.
bold take. I'm just going to throw it out there into the universe. I just have a feeling deep inside my bones somewhere. I think Modi Meow's going to come back.
That would be huge.
I don't know. I just have a feeling. Modi Meow comes back for the Breakers.
Is that even possible? He's in
knows?
Japan making a bag.
Who knows? We're just going to lure some... We're going to chuck a fishing line over there.
I mean, to be
Lure him
fair,
back.
we since 2015 since we won, the only time we ever made it far, Moda Mayor, led by Barry Brown Jr., Jarrell Brantley, Derek Pardon, Will McDowell White.
I think we're going to throw him a bag and draw him back here.
I think he would definitely help.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's quite a bold take, but Judd would be great. I don't know if he has the capacity with Tall Black's duties, but God, man, Judd would be, I think, a really good fit. But I sadly don't think we'll see Cop next year.
No.
I think, like I said, basketball brain, great. I just don't know if he has the... I mean, he's a very new head coach. But yeah, the poll for this episode that I proposed to you, Will, now with everything that's unfolded, Tasmania are hurt, we're hurt, Illawarra on the tails, the 6th spot is wide open for all 3 teams to kind of give it a go. For you, and for the rest of the people at home, do the Breakers make the 6? Is there a chance we can make the 6th seed? I'm still optimistic, but I'm thinking no. What about yourself?
No, we don't make the 6.
Let
think
us know.
It's either Tassie's to lose or Illawarra's to climb up and take it because they're the only healthy team out of the 3 of us. So, yeah.
Let us know.
Unfortunately.
Vote on the poll and maybe leave your thoughts in the comments. But that's all for this episode. We'll be back next week following the Breakers game against Melbourne and also looking at what the table looks like around the rest of the league. It's heating up. It's the most exciting time of the NBL. You've got 4 rounds left until we head into the playoffs, which, man, the playoffs this year, I think they're going to be a smacker. They're going to be good, man.
I think so.
See you guys next week.